Hello, Factorio people. Sorry, the video is one day late. Things happened. Things happened. I did get some time though before recording this to just make a few changes to the lithium module from last time. I noticed that I hooked the actual ingredients up, but I noticed that if you set the gases, the hydrogen and the chlorine, to burn when there's excess, then the crushers just work all the time, because all the crusher is doing is getting stone in, and then the stone is being turned into chlorine and hydrogen. Those go into the tanks, and then the tanks just burn any excess. So even if your lithium storage here is full, these just crush stone forever, and that is a waste. I don't like burning the excess as it is. I feel like there's maybe something we could do with it, but it was too much to think about in the last episode. So the solution is hook up the output chests to a circuit network, which counts how much lithium there is in the chests, which is something that we're going to want to do anyway for when we turn on station train limits by cargo. And then just tell this belt section here, just because it was the closest one I could get to the wire without the wire going in silly places, to not send any more stone into the system if these are full, basically, and full by this standard of 2 trains. And so then I hooked that up, and then there's a train actually now doing the lithium. Hooray! Huh. I maybe should have limited these chests. Oh no. It's fine. So what are we going to do today? Oh god. Oh god. What are we going to do today? Should I have limited these chests? Do any of my other real ones have limits? I can't remember. No, doesn't look like it. Today we're going to look at... Oh, I also finished off one of these. Like, this is going to be it now. This is the system. 5 tall. Space between each one for the trains to go through without causing an issue. There's no signalling here in between the T's. And then the next section will be, like, you know, offset slightly so that there's no 4-way junctions, because they suck. Or it's very difficult to get them to work without taking up a lot of space and time. I thought we would do, and may God have mercy on us all, Immersite powder to crystals, or raw Immersite to crystals. And this is another one that is, like the lithium, it is a real pain in the behind. But this will also give us some information as to how much sand, when you crush Immersite, you get sand. It's entirely possible that we won't need to bring in raw stone here. We could just bring in the sand and cut this whole section out. It's really going to depend on a lot of things. So we might have to design this to have 2 outputs, 1 sand and 1 Immersite crystals, but we'll see how it goes. You can put sand into a crusher to just completely get rid of it. Don't ask me how that works. Let's flip and go, shall we? Alright, I've got factoriolab.github.io open here in another tab. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I find it the best tool. I've tried to use in-game base building tools, and I just find them so complicated to use. Alright, so we need raw Immersite coming in. That's fine, we can do that. If I can remember how any of the stuff works. Right, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, he says 5 minutes into the video. That's enough, right? That's enough. Raw Immersite goes into a crusher. and becomes both... Oh. Both raw Immersite powder and sand. And then you need to turn that powder, along with nitric acid and sulfuric acid, 6 powder, 10 nitric acid, 10 sulfuric acid, 30 seconds, 1 Immersite crystal. Yeah. Yeah. I hate it. To be honest with you, it freaking sucks, man. But, you know, oh, I did this as well. I did this. I've done so many little things. It's a B. It's B size. Look at that. Yeah. No, it's not B size. No, what a fool. It's the A. It's the A one. A was good enough. I don't know why I think the crushers are big. They look big, don't they? But they're actually the exact same size as the assembly labs. But the assembly labs don't have the... Oh, that's also a filtration plant. It was the big one. I got the filter... Oh my god, my brain. An atmospheric condenser, I'm sorry. Oh, that was right. I got the atmospheric condenser out for some reason. I was going to say, oh, it looks like it's bigger, but it's because it's got the pipes. And then my mind was like, why does it have pipes? Why does the crusher have pipes? And then I realised I'd picked the wrong thing. Anyway, I'm not with it, as you can see. This is part of why I didn't record a video yesterday either, because my brain is failing. Not literally, of course. Like, don't worry about me. I'm fine. Essentially, there's no way I was making a video yesterday, though. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. All right, we need to get some Immersite powder in to the crusher just to see how much of it we need for a fully beaconed and moduled thing. I mean, it's not fully beaconed and moduled. Obviously, I haven't put the singularity beacons down, but let's start, shall we? Wow, it doesn't need much. It doesn't need much at all. Right, so we can beacon this. We can beacon this quite severely. We need one there, and then if we're tiling them like this, that will do. And then we need 2 outputs. Space for 2 outputs. One for the sand, one for the Immersite itself. So that's as good as we're getting. Probably. Because we need this and this. We also need to set a filter. I think this might be the only case ever in Krastorio 2 we need to set a filter on a loader. Sand. And then let's just bung them into here for now. Just over 1/5 of a belt. Let's remove some so that it is as close to 1/5 as we can. Yeah. 1/5 would be nice. Let's say that. Let's say that, shall we? Five of those. Okay, 5 of these make 7,500 sand a minute. How much sand does this use? Oops. Did I know that it did that? If you press it twice, it brings up the last thing. Wow, I didn't know that. That's very cool. This will use 12,000 sand, even though that is also overkill. Well, no, it is overkill. It is overkill. So we could change this to sand and just deal with the sand like that, because we're going to have a lot of sand here. If I bring up the recipe book, sand also... Sand, product of sand. No, it's product of stone. We also need sand to make glass, to make quartz. We're not going to make landfill. and water electrolysis is what we're already doing with some of the sand. The glass and the quartz is... The issue we've got, right, is that if it's not enough sand from other things, if we also need to crush stone, then that means we just need a dedicated location to crushing stone, so that we're just moving the sand around. But 3 stone makes a random amount between 7 and 8 sand. So it averages out at something like 15 a second or something. Yeah, something like that. So you don't really want to be moving sand around, because if you... Stone stacks to 200, sorry, as well. So if you move 200 stone about, you can turn that into, well, divided by 3 times by 7.5, some amount of sand. So you'd be moving more sand around, which is more train loads of sand moving around, which is inefficient. The other option would be to have anywhere that needs sand have a sand input station and a stone input station, and if there's no sand available, crush stone to make the sand. That sounds even worse, to be honest with you, because you're adding more trains and more stations for that reason. You're making junctions busier because a train will come in carrying stone and another train will come in carrying sand, and then you'll have a you'll have a bit here where the sand can just go straight through, the stone has to be crushed and join that belt, and then you have to decide here, oh, I haven't got any stone, I haven't got any sand, so I'm going to have to crush stone. And I mean, that would be cool. That would be the most efficient way to do it in terms of not wasting any sand. I'm leaning towards just moving sand around the base and just having a dedicated stone crushing module, or 2 or 5. Factorio Lab says just over, 217,000 sand per minute. 2/3 of which can come from crushing raw Immersite. So we will need 70,000 sand going towards coming from stone. But this also says that 117,000 of that sand needs to go straight into quartz. So I suppose an option would be to make quartz and Immersite crystals in the same place, so that the sand comes out and turns into quartz, which needs water, which is fine. Quartz is only used to make silicon, I believe, in a mega base style, at least. I think you need it to make solar panels as well. Oh, laser turrets, silicon, and heat pipe. So we won't need either of these. So we could make Immersite crystals and silicon in the same place by having this excess sand turn into quartz, and then turning that quartz directly into silicon. That also sounds like a better idea, but it depends on how much silicon we need. Silicon. We would need just under 50,000 silicon per minute, which would be 70,000 quartz per minute, which would be... I know this is a lot of theory, this episode. Where's the actual quartz on this list? There it is. Yeah, 117,000 sand. I think that's probably a good idea. I think that maybe works. So let's do that. I suppose we should do that. The first thing to be... what did we decide this was? This was 5 of these for 1 belt of raw Immersite. That's only 7,500 of that sand. 7,500 of that sand. That's ridiculous. Because we just said that we would need 150,000 sand is the byproduct of the Immersite crushing. So that's not going to cut it. We're going to maybe have to do 10. That's absurd as well. Two belts of raw Immersite. Am I going to have to do 4? Am I going to have to do something else about this? 4 belts of Immersite. 4, Jeremy. .6 wagons per minute. That's a train moving every just under 3 minutes. That's fine, right? That's 30,000 sand. So I would still then need 5 of these. Because I need 146. I need exactly the same, obviously, because it's 1-to-1 ratio. 146,813.9. Yeah, basically 100 crushers. 100. Oh my god, why? Why did I decide that I wanted to make this video series? This is pure pain. Alright, let's get to work then. No, there's too much. It's too much. I'm not going to be able to make this. The sand is just going to have to go in a wagon and just go somewhere else, isn't it? It is. It is. It is. There's no way I also turn. Alright, well, let's see how much room we've got. Alright. What am I doing? I've just confused myself so much. The sand is just going to have to come out. And then the Immersite powder is going to have to go into... I mean, thankfully this can go in an advanced chemical plant. I suppose we should see how many advanced chemical plants that needs. So keep this as it is. Although, if we just bung the extra modules back down, then... Whoops, I thought that was on the copy tool. If we just put these extra modules back down, we might be able to, like, narrow it to, like, 18, maybe, instead. Just enough so that it's 4 belts. It's the closest we can get to 4 belts. 19, alright, that was a waste of time, so... I still don't have room for it. Oh, I would have room for an input if I just move these. That can go there, that can go there, and then the 2 outputs can go there. Yeah. So 19 of these. We'll say 20, just to make it... It depends on how many advanced chemical plants that's going to need. Because then the powder goes into advanced chemical plant with the nitric acid and the sulfuric acid, and then we're just going to have to see how much flipping nitric acid and sulfuric acid that needs. Because it's probably going to be a lot. Oh god, this is going to be awful. I don't even want to look. Alright, so what did we say? 4 belts. How many of these do we need to use 4 belts of powder? Oh, Oh no, it's not even 4 belts of powder. It's four belts of powder. Sorry, I'm getting very confused. 4 belts of raw Immersite would make 5.5 belts of powder. So to use 5.5 belts of powder, you'd need about 36, 37. Oh no, I didn't put the singularity ones down. Getting the singularity ones down here is awful because it needs the gas. It needs the gases in and out. And that can go there. So yeah, it needs like one. It needs gases in and out somehow. Cross that bridge when we come to it, and this input here. So don't get as many. Thankfully, it's only the one output at the very end. So that's as good as that's gonna get for now, probably. 18. So we may as well just do this as a 1-to-1 ratio then. One crusher for each lab. We'll just do that instead. Which does help slightly. Because we can rearrange this somewhat now to do the standard. I don't know why I didn't just design it like this in the first place, but there we go. Does it really matter which way round this is happening? This one. You know this one. And then I guess the sand can just go, just get rid of it, just flush it out back here. And then how are the gases coming in? Oh, I didn't actually look at how much gas that needs, did I? No, that's better off being this one. Actually, both of them are going to need the tunnel, but yeah, like that can go there, and then this one can go here like this, and tell me how far that's going to reach. That should be far enough to do some stuff. That should be far enough to sort it out. And then beacons. No, I wanted the output to just line up with the gap. It's not going to. Anyway. Oh, right, yeah, I got rid of that, so that has no recipe anymore. 20 of these as well. 6.66, so that's good enough. Even though it's slightly over a belt of Immersite crystals, that's fine. That gives you 6,000 Immersite crystals, roughly, and then we need, for the whole entire base, here we go, drum roll please, 21,000. Okay, so 4 modules of this will suffice. That's okay. That's only 240,000 sulfuric acid per minute. That's fine. That's hardly any. Krastorio Lab says we're going to need 570,000 per minute anyway. So there we go. That is only 3 fully beaconed advanced chemical plants because of how bonkers good advanced chemical plants are. But there we go. There we go. All right. This is it. This is the build. We just need to then get the sand and everything sorted out. Have I got a nice 4 belt one already? That's using the same width as a a crusher? Don't think I do I? I've only used crushers once. I probably could have just done it in the time it's taken me to look at this. Like, in theory it's this one, but whatever. 20. I did add a secondary mall hub here, and I added a little simple lab thing if any extra researchers come in from mods that I added. So like I added a couple of episodes ago, I added Dectorio and waterfill. Yeah, the Dectorio mod for the waterfill, and that also came with some researches for wooden floorboards and making trees and sand and stuff. So I just did them anyway. That's the wrong way. As I said in a previous episode, I might do some simple stuff off camera, some really simple wins, like just getting... I was going to say smelting, but actually smelting is going to be quite complicated because we want to do the filtration system, so maybe I won't actually do that. There'll be some other ones I can do that are very simple, like just two inputs and an output, 3 inputs and an output, you know. This, like, processing units is going to be easy. Advanced circuits will be interesting because there's an intermediate step with the copper cable. Wood, yeah, just doing greenhouse module will be a thing. Flying robot frames. Yeah, stuff like this that's just 4 inputs and an out, and then a 1 output. This is at least have some maths involved, some math and some planning and things like that. So, okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. And this is why all those episodes ago I was like, oh, I hope I've got enough space in these grid sections. These look a bit big. These look a bit large, don't they? Maybe I've gone overboard. No. No. I knew what was coming, folks. The lithium just about encroached. It would have been fine, the lithium, because the straight rail section wouldn't have done that, but this one, for sure. Should have done these as ghost planners because I am now actually going to have to move everything. I didn't do an output for this. Okay. What do we do about the 2 output stations? Because I need 4 belts. Is this going to have to be a double high one? I need 4 belts of raw Immersite coming in. Do I have a 4 yet? Have I ever done a 4? I've done an 8. A 4 might need to be into big boxes with loaders on. So I think I'm going to do that. Not big boxes. Medium boxes. Is that good enough? I may as well use big boxes though. That's the thing. I'm worried about space. Because I also need this. Just don't take the infinity chest. Because I'm going to need this build. Why didn't I just take the rails at the same time? I'm going to need this build for acids, both nitric and sulfuric. Thankfully they're not, I don't have too much space involved. I'm pretty sure this is not the best way to do the fluids from the trains. Time will tell. So I need 4 belts out of this. This is obviously a bit overkill. But it would help if I just leave room for one entire train load in each one. And then put that in my back pocket. Am I going to do the 8 one and just do an 8 to 4 balancer? Or is there a better way to do this? Maybe I should just do this one, save a bit of space, and then do an 8 to 4 balancer like that. Now I need the train to unload quickly, is the other thing. Although 4 superior long inserters would probably be fine. Yeah. Let's reserve that design for when you definitely need 8 belts, and do a 4 design for this. Do a new one like this. That works, doesn't it? That seems okay. That's also in the wrong place. That's gonna unload the fuel from the train. That's another thing we need to think about, is that a lot of the trains have been running for a while now, so they have empty uranium fuel cells in them, which we need to take out and recycle, which we will have to do like as part of this system. So not only will the trains need loading of fuel from a logistics chest, they'll need an unloading of fuel. But that's, you know, we can cross that bridge another time. So, the whole reason I was doing this is to see if I had enough space here for another loading station, and I do. Just about. So that's why I've had to do that first, because I really went overboard in the beginning on these designs, didn't I? Sorry, I got distracted. It's only half an hour video, it's fine. This is good content. This is good content. It's only been half an hour. I'm worried that I've been rambling for ages. But you're here for the rambling, aren't you? I know you are. I know you are. Give me a 4 to 4 lane balancer as well, please, just in case. No, it's too tall. No, what a fool I've been. I'd love to be able to do this as my full-time job, being streamer. I think I'm the exact kind of person that it would suit being that for a job. Mostly because of my amazing grasp of the English language. But also I'm just so lazy, you know? I'll make my own hours. There, I guess. Never leave the house. Imagine leaving the house. hate it. Actually hate it. And people. Bloody people. What's that all about? Sorry. Shouldn't be a therapy session. But that is... I'm afraid that's what it is now. That's what this has become. For me. And for you. Let's have a chat in the comments. Tell me what's going on with you. Oh. You'll be like, I watched this awful YouTube video today. Man was bonkers. It should have power. Oh, it doesn't have power because it's not hooked up to anything else. Oh, don't do it like that. Don't do it like that, because now I don't know where the flipping signal has to go. And this was also a waste of time as well. Not quite sure what I was thinking with this design. I mean, it doesn't not work. This curve isn't as tight as it could be, is it? Or is it? No, could be one more. That's going to bug me for the rest of this series. If not, my entire life. Alright, you need to be unbarrel one of them. Oh my god, there's so many fluids in this mod. Sulfuric acid, and you need to unbarrel nitric acid. We're obviously not going to use barrels in the main build. This is just how we make sure that we get fluids infinitely for testing. Sulfuric acid barrel, thank you. And then remove unfiltered items, goes back the other way. Same with you, but you are nitric acid barrel. So that one. That would help. What's happening? Why isn't this working? I've picked the wrong one. Empty sulfuric acid barrel and empty nitric acid barrel. There we go, we got there in the end. The reason I don't think this is going to work particularly well is that the train won't leave until this whole thing is empty. So when the new train comes in, 2 of the wagons are pumping into this, 2 are pumping into this, which is also then emptying into this. So the trains aren't going to empty evenly, which I don't think is a huge issue for fluids. It's the same as what we were saying about the tech cards, right? Is that it doesn't matter. The train leaves when it's empty. It doesn't matter that the first half of the train, or each even numbered wagon, empties first. Why did you take so long to leave? You need to leave. Why aren't you leaving? Because the signal is red. The signal should not be red. The signal's red until the train leaves this. Oh my god, alright, we can fix that. We can fix that very easily. Just like that. And then at least as soon as the train clears this signal. And, you know, I also just bung one halfway down here as well, just to be sure. Here. Make it line up with that one on the way out, I suppose. And that's long enough. So as soon as the train leaves here, the next train can actually start thinking about going, and then as soon as the train leaves here, it can also move along a bit. I suppose then by that logic we should also have one here. It's not hugely important. It doesn't seem very likely that the trains are going to run out at exactly the same time, but maybe they could, I suppose, if something breaks somewhere that doesn't let any of the trains out and suddenly they're all empty at the same time but none of them can go. Because like maybe I delete a piece of rail by mistake and they literally cannot do anything but they all empty. So it's a good idea to do it. It's good practice. Right. I got so distracted there. Okay, so then I need... How much Immersite, raw Immersite was this outputting? I'm not going to know because there's no power. Oh my god. Oh, thinking. Just over 2 belts. Just over 1 belt, so I need 2 belts. That's what I was trying to say. Oh, that's an input. I was so confused. This one. Okay, so this outputs the Immersite crystals. So we want you quite far down. But like this. Does that work? And then the sand was... Oh god, please tell me it's not 1,000,000 belts of sand. There's no ingredients, so I don't know. It's fine. If this is more than 8 belts of sand, I'm going to be really upset with myself here that I didn't think of that. No, it's fine. It's 6 belts of sand. That's fine. We can sort that. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Sorry. This is BoJack Horseman. Just, it's very funny, that bit. Dear. I told you I'm mad. It's better for society as a whole if I'm in the house making YouTube videos for a job, to be honest with you. And then I need a second output station for the first time. The first time I actually need... Take the whole thing, just so that it's got the curve on it. I actually need this one as well. And so then that needs to come in from... That doesn't really matter. I was going to do it from here, but it sounds like it makes more sense to do it from this way, but maybe it won't, because then I don't have... There is room here for a second train. Like, I deliberately designed this to have enough room for a second train waiting here to load. Because this fueling thing is going to happen so infrequently that it doesn't really matter if the fuel train is just waiting here for a bit. It's not going to be that much of a problem. I hope this doesn't break it. It shouldn't break it. Some trains are going to load and some trains are going to unload. It's the same. This balancer is wrong. I need a 6 to 8. Actually, how am I going to do this? I think the first thing I should do is maybe make sure this is all good. Oh, I copied the undergrounds. What a fool. Of course they don't overwrite, do they? Why would they? No! Yeah, the splitter overwrites. Oh, overwrites if you stop. Oh my god, why? The behaviour, it doesn't. It's inconsistent. It's not. If you start from nothing, it doesn't overwrite anything. If you start from an underground, it will overwrite everything. It's not inconsistent, it's just annoying. It's my fault for copying and pasting it wrong. Ah! The content, it's too good. It's such good YouTube content. Okay. I guess I should also do this. Just for clarity. Really makes no difference, but it's nice. Oh, this is making me a bit motion sick. Alright, sand. I need 20 belts of sand. 20 output belts into 6. And then into 8. So I guess I'm going to do... I've never done this, the reverse of this. I've never actually done this. I believe it works. I'm not sure why it wouldn't work. So I need a 6 to 8 here. Undergrounds... wherever. Doesn't really make any difference. I suppose we should get this to line up with this. No. And then... this. Oh, filter it. Filter your outputs. Yeah, this one's sand. This one, Immersite. And you have to say both, because if you say sand and not sand, it still just outputs sand in the other one as well. You can't just say sand and assume that the last output is going to be everything that's not sand. That's not how it works. For good reason. I don't even know why I'm explaining this, to be honest. It's kind of obvious why that wouldn't work. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's a genius. Like, that should work, right? It's just the same as this. It's pushing them all down to the bottom so that half of them can go into the input. But this is just making sure that all of these belts can empty before it then gets balanced. I'm fairly confident this is exactly what I want to happen. I should probably do this bit so that I don't have to finish all that off later. Is that enough? It's 1 short. Eleven, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19? Whatever, it's fine. You could argue that all of these belts here are redundant, but I suppose when the whole thing fills up, it will eventually fill up all of the belts, so... Here come all the splitters. Splitting. That's an Alan Partridge reference. People keeping track. Only talking references. Are we good to go? Sand. No, that's raw Immersite. Crystals. No. There we go. So just need some infinity chests here, ready to mimic the loading and unloading of the train. I should probably maybe actually do it like this, just so that it's I can prove to myself that it's actually going to do the belt at the right speed. I mean, obviously it will. Like, there's no reason it wouldn't. That's a silly idea. He's facing the wrong way. What's wrong with you? Oh, these don't have the prod modules in. Don't do that. This shouldn't... I calculated it with the prod modules. Please tell me I did. Please tell me I did. Oh god, can you imagine? It's going to take a while to permeate down, because when you use the loaders, it waits for a full stack. Is this the wrong way around? No. Why aren't the gases coming in? Oh, I've done it the wrong way around. Oh, it's a disaster. Oh, cripes. What's the best way to fix this? Is it just change these around, or is it muddle around with this? Because the sulfuric... this needs to be the sulfuric acid, so... I could fix that like this, even though it won't like it, but... it just looks odd. Purge the whole system, please. Now you're not getting... oh, the first one won't be working because I didn't have the filter set up, so... yeah, there is actually some of this in here. Oops. This is outputting infrequently enough that it's only ever on one side of the belts. Which means this isn't really working. It's never getting stuck, is it? It's just... it might get stuck. Let me just check that the numbers here are right, because I didn't put the... yeah, it's almost bang on. I wonder if this is infrequently enough to actually just make this an inserter. I mean, the thing is, an inserter is not actually going to change what's happening here. It's not getting enough Immersite. Did I know that? Suppose if I did this, then I could make some of them drop near and some of them drop far. Although we established that... oh no, it did work. It does work. It does work. Yeah, that's probably slightly more sensible. Sort of belt balancing without the need for any extra splitters and balancers everywhere. Even though I'm using a lot of splitters anyway, so I can't really... I'm worried about my UPS. says. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Is this UPS friendly? I have no idea. I mean, there's literally no reason why this first one is not just this. Is there? Let's... come on. Come on. And these will... I mean, I guess that's the same reason here. These will fill up. Like, when this is full... the stand's going to have to go somewhere. Hey, some stuff just finished. Right, what was I doing? Making... this. Every other one do this. Yeah, you see how it's changed now? Why aren't you doing anything? What? Four belts was supposed to be enough. Why is 4 belts not enough? They're not full belts. Yes, they are. Are they? Yeah, no, they are. What's happening? .2 belts. Did I over egg this? I put more singularity beacons down than I needed. Because then this makes... oh god, I'm so confused. Why? 1.5 transport belts. You telling me I did all of those numbers and the prod modules went in there? Because now it's 1.5 and I thought it was 1.1 before, wasn't it? And it needs 6.4 sand. Whereas this is only 5.8 sand. Oh, also, when the sand fills up, the whole thing's going to break. Yeah, when the sand fills up, the whole thing's going to break. So... I didn't think of that. I can't believe I did the whole thing and I didn't put the prod modules in here to do the... oh, it's so embarrassing. So what's each one of these now? It's just shy on... I mean, it's so close. I mean, all I need to do really is just take some of these beacons out and then it'll be enough. Does that really matter? The fact that it's not happening at the end... I mean, it's happening enough. It's just these are working too fast. Don't know if this changes the actual end result of what I wanted here. 8,000 per minute, so I'd only need... oh, what did I say? Immersite crystals? 21,000. Yeah, so this could afford to slow down a bit. Just so that I have to build only 3. Whoops. Slow it down. Cool your jets. Just so that the machines are always running, rather than stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, and so that also I don't need... there's not a shortage of Immersite coming in. what did this mean? Did this mean that this was still over 4 belts? 4.2. How did I get this so wrong? What happened? What happened in the middle of this video to make it awful? I thought it was going so well. Barely had to get the calculator or anything. So one of these needs to go and 2 of these need to go. Right? Yeah, that's almost correct. So then 20 of these... Whoops, I copied... Did I do both? No, it's fine. 20 of this... Why are you now saying this is 4... Oh, it's 4 in. It's 4 in. It's 1.3 out. 4.03 in. Yeah, that's fine. That's better. That's better. That's better. It's okay. We salvaged it. We salvaged it. And then how much... Actually, how much Immersite crystal was that? 7,100. So then 3 of these modules will be fine. Okay. So get rid of 1 of these and 2 of these. And then we desperately need a solution for excess sand, because that is going to be a huge issue. If the whole base doesn't need any sand, then this grinds to a halt. So what we might need to do is... What we might need to do next is quartz to silicon, just so that this sand is being used. Or take out the... Go back to the lithium module and take out... Make this sand instead. Which would need 2.3 belts of sand. Whereas this is obviously, as we established, like 6 belts. It's not quite 6 belts anymore because I just took some of the modules off of here, but this is almost correct. Now, 5.6 belts of sand. But we need 4 of these and 3 of these, so that does give us... What did I say? 4 lithium modules. A 9.2... No, 9.2222-ish, 233, whatever maths is, however maths ends up. There should be enough need for the sand. Because we said at the beginning of the episodes we're going to still have to crush stone to make sand somewhere else. Yeah, only 2/3 of the sand will come from Immersite powder excess. We will still have to crush sand somewhere else, so we'll probably need to make sure that the sand... We'll need to do some magic to make sure that the sand from the Immersite crushing process is prioritized, because we don't want this whole system backing up. But that's fine, we can sort that. We can just do stuff like always keeping this train station open and only opening the other train station if this station doesn't have a load of sand. Yeah, like it'll be easy. It will be easy. It will be annoying, and obviously I should have put green and red wires around all of my base now so that I can carry that sand signal around, but it's fine. It's fine. Alright, well, we did it. It was a nightmare. It's probably quite inefficient. I'm not sure how I feel about this, to be honest with you. It seems like overkill and a huge waste of splitters for no reason. Like, it feels like it might be better to just sort of count how many of these... Sorry, how many of these... Yeah, three would be one belt. So merge 3 of these into one belt and then just do that all the way down the line to have 6 belts that then get balanced here. It works for inputs, but it doesn't sit right with me for outputs. Alright, cool. Okay, thanks for watching. Sorry again the episode was late. This is going to go live on Monday at 4 PM. Thursday's episode will hopefully be normal. We'll see how it goes. If you like the video, please let me know with a like, and if you want to subscribe to see the next episodes as and when they come out, you know what to do. Other than that, thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.